What if the next battle is not about the planes and tanks, but about the robot dogs, autonomous drones, and AI-driven wolves? For decades, nations have feared China human waves, but today a new threat is emerging from its factories, a massive army of robots. As tension rises over Taiwan, the world is asking a critical questions. Can the US Army actually face Chinese new robotics army in potential conflict? In July 2024, construction began on massive weaponized robot industry based in Mengyang, Sichuan. This 92,000 square meter facility is a wide example of how China is turning sci-fi concept into battlefield reality. China now boasts over 2 million industrial robots, far surpassing the rest of the world combined, and has added 300,000 just in single recent year. On the ground, China is developing the VU T-10 and 11-ton robotic tank armed with a 30 mm cannon and anti-tank missiles. It can autonomously navigate rough terrain and engage target all withstanding electronic jamming. Then there are the robot wolves. These four-legged machines are trained to fight in packs. In recent Chinese New Year 2026, not only four-legged robot dogs, but China also massive production of humanoid fighter robots are released for previous year, and they are trained all of these humanoid robots with full body control, which China had already shown off in front of the world in recent Chinese New Year 2026. The journey of this experiment started in 1985. The determination of kicks starts the research. The journey began after Chinese experts witnessed US and Japanese bipedal robots at the 1985 Tsukuba Expo in Japan, which sparked the determination to develop a similar robot for China. In 1986, the University of Electronic Science and Technology of China created Miss Cheng Rung, the country's first voice control intelligent humanoid developed. On November 29, 2000, a historic breakthrough, China successfully developed its first humanoid robot, Shangxingzhe, its English name Pioneer, but China aims to include robots in military zone in 2025, when first time Chinese company Engine AI, also known as Zhongqing Robotics, develops first China model combat robots. In December 2025, the CEO of Zhongqing Robotics company, Zhao Dangyang, personally demonstrated the robot's combat capabilities by taking a direct kick from the company's T-800 humanoid robot. The viral video was released to prove the robot's power and combat agility were real, not CGI. After that day, China continuously improvement robotics algorithm day by day. Look at in 2024, where the robots not properly control their bodies, but in 2025, the robots themselves partially control their bodies, and 2026, they are fully control their bodies. Here you can see robots so successfully Kung Fu and martial art, but the problem is that what happened if China successfully make algorithm to full control these robots with weapons? There is the UX Assert model, Annie Recon model, and the GT Logistics Support model, a true iron triangle for urban warfare. In the skies, China has fully demonstrated its Atlas drone swarm system, where a single technician can control up to 96 drones to perform synchronized strikes. Even obsolete J-6 fighter jets from the 1960s have been converted into attack drones and stand at 6 air bases near Taiwan. But this is not just about the machines themselves, it's about how they are being made, and China's scale of production is where the real game changer lies. A recent Goldman Sachs report reveals that China's supply chain is also dense, that all the necessary components for advanced military robotics can be sourced within a 100-kilometer radius in the Yangtze River. While the US military struggles with the bureaucratic delays, high cost, and manufacturing bottlenecks for its replicator program, where the China private sector is ready to flip or switch. For example, automakers like Dell can adapt their assembly lines to produce drones or robotic components almost overnight. This industrial rally is not lost on the Pentagon top brass. General Mark Milley has warned that China aims to not only match us but exceed us, dominate us, be able to beat us in armed conflict by mid-century. What does a US-China robot conflict actually look like in Taiwan scenario? Analysis says that it's not a fair fight, it is a clash of completely different philosophies. The US strategy, dubbed the Hellscape, relies on using swarms of drones and unmanned ships to slow down a Chinese invasion. The plan is to create a kill wave that delays the PLA buying time for the main fleet. In contrast, China doctrine envision using robot wolves as the first wave of amphibious assaults on Taiwanese beach. These machines would clearly mines and barbed wire, absorbing the initial defensive fire to spare human soldiers. Here is the problem. The US Hellscape relies on thousands of chips, reliable drones, but the replicator program is blocked by technical glitches and cost overruns. Meanwhile, China can afford to lose robots. The US is spending nearly $70 billion its drone fleet, but China industrial base will simply overcross it through sheer numbers. Crucially, American forces will be fight far from home, relying on vulnerable supply lines. China, by contrast, can launch robot waves directly from its own coastline. The US still leads in core AI and sensor technology, but in the brutal arithmetic of industrial warfare, China's massive manufacturing base and its determination to build a robot armies at all costs might give it an edge in a long conflict. The age of human waves tactics is over. It's being replaced by the age of intelligent sea tactics, and the first true test of that future may well happen in the skies and on the beach of the Taiwan Strait. What do you think? Could the US industrial base pivot fast enough to counter China robot army? Let us know in the comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos.